Hey everybody, this is going to be a real thorough review on the Pinbot 3.0 Pinterest automation software. Now, there are some videos out there that do kind of, give like a tutorial of what this is about, but there's nothing in detail that actually tells everything that this product actually does. And I mean, this product does a whole lot. There's so much that it does that it's almost like the person that built Scrapebox. I don't know if any of you own Scrapebox, but it's a very sophisticated piece of software, and with that software you can either abuse it or you can use it to actually promote your business. And in this particular case, it's the same way. This is so powerful that you can destroy yourself with it. And other people, if you are doing this for other people, or you can actually use it to be very, very effective and make a lot of money with the software. So I have looked around and I could not find any information that was helpful to me, because it was not, it's self-explanatory, but for a lot of people are hands-on. They're more visual. They have to see somebody doing it first before they can actually use it. And that's kind of the way I am. I want to kind of see what people are doing with it. And there are people out there that are doing these tutorials, but they're not being very specific in what they're showing. And they'll click here and click there and not really explain what each feature does. So with that, I'm going to show you Pinbot 3.0. Now, this is a new version. Pinbot's been around for a little while. It started with the 1.0 version, then 2.0, and then 3.0. 3.0 being the latest and the greatest, I would say, because I mean, I've looked at some of the older videos that are out on some of the old, the beginning part of this product, and it was really kind of difficult to use, because it was not really, explained how it worked. This interface is a lot easier to use. It's a lot simpler. It is a lot straightforward, but you still need to know exactly what each thing does on it. If you are on Pinterest, or if you are trying to promote yourself or other people on Pinterest, you're using it as a tool on other places like Fiverr or something like that, then it's really helpful to know exactly what everything does and how you can actually help yourself and not destroy yourself or somebody else's account in the process. So we'll start out by assuming that you already have it downloaded and installed on your system. Now, the first thing you need to know is that this runs in Java, so you have to have Java on your system. When you buy it and you go to the link area, you basically have an option to download Java, and I would advise you to download the new Java 8, because that's what's out now, and that's the environment that it runs in. So download that, install that first before you actually install this. You don't want to install this first and then install Java. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to have to uninstall it and then reinstall it. So download the Java 8 first, and then you want to let that run and completely install, and then go ahead and download this and install it as per the directions. Now, once you get it installed, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you to add an account, and that is simply just by popping up the screen and adding your account. Now, your account is very important, because without this you can't do anything. You can't post, you can't pin, you can't repin, you can't follow, you can't unfollow, you can't do anything. So you need to put your account in. Now, for those of you that are new to this, there is an option to use proxies. If you don't know what proxies are, you probably need to go do some research on proxies. That's a whole nother video explaining what they are and what they do. For those of you that are advanced, you probably already know what proxies are and you know exactly what to do with them. If you are going to use proxies, in other words, if you're going to use multiple accounts, you need to know something about proxies. First off is that if you used an account and you used a different proxy to create that account, Pinterest has already got that log. So if you go in here and you add your account to this and then add a different proxy, then you're already going to be busted. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. If I was you, what I would do is create your account. This will allow you to create an account. This will allow you to create everything in here completely. Or if you're going to use a browser like Pearl or Opera or Firefox, just use the proxy field in there. Go to the advanced section and enter the proxy that you're going to use for a specific account, and then use that proxy in here in your Pinbot software, because people are like trying to figure out why their accounts are getting banned, even if they're not using the settings that are really aggressive. And the reason why is because Pinterest, like Facebook, they collect proxies. They collect your IP address. So if your IP address is different, if you sign on with one IP address and then you post with a different IP address. And the other thing too is that when you're posting, when you're using the software to post, do not go into your Pinterest account and pin and repin and follow and unfollow under a different proxy while this process is running, and pinning and posting under another proxy. That is a way to get your account banned as well. Nobody tells you this. This is not told to you on any video online right now, on YouTube, anywhere. There are even people that are getting their accounts banned that have been using the software for a while, and they say, well, I have 100% of my accounts have never got banned. Well, only some of them got banned. Well, one of the reasons why they get banned is because you are playing around with this proxy business. And if you aren't exactly sure what you're doing with proxies, then you need to not use them. Either not use them or use them exactly the way you're supposed to use them, which is use your proxy in your browser when you set up the account. But on the first day when you set your account up, I would probably do like 10 pins, and then I'd leave it alone for a couple days. Then I'd go back to it and I'd do another 10, and then leave it alone for a couple days, and I'd go back to it and I'd do 20. And then for at least 2 weeks until you build some rapport with that account. The thing is, when it's a brand new account and you start plastering it with pins, it's going to get banned. I'm sorry, but that's just what's going to happen. So unless your account is an aged account, then, and what I mean by aged is I mean that the account has been established and has been running for a while, then you basically, don't want to pin to that account. You don't want to paste it with, you don't want to just overbear that account with pins, because, Pinterest is not stupid. They use the same algorithms that Facebook uses, and they can pick you out of, a billion people that are online on that account and know that you are, that you're using a bot. So just be aware of that. And like I said, if you don't know about proxies, you need to look them up and understand how they work first before, entering in here. But if you are using proxies, basically all you do is to sign in, to add your account, you put your email address that you use for your Pinterest account, and then you put your password for your Pinterest account. Then click on Use Proxies. Alright, so you got a set of numbers. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of numbers, and then you have actually a port. Okay, so this is a port. Alright, and then this is your IP numbers. Okay, these numbers here. And then what's going to go in here is your username and your password. Now, depending on who your proxy, the people that actually provide your proxies, there is another way you can do this. You can go onto that site, and you can actually, there's a checkbox that you can check that actually allows it to identify the IP by user rather than by password. So it knows that you're using that proxy, so it'll allow you to use it without putting your username and your password in there. And the reason why I say that is because this is software, and software gets it gets hacked, and once it gets hacked, people can get that information and start using your proxies, and then you're going to be out of luck. So basically what happens is you put your IP in, you put in your port, and then you put your username and you put your password. Okay, and then that's what sets your proxy up. But if you are not using this for distribution processes, or for working on other people's products, or you're not doing over 100 different pins for different accounts, then you can just go ahead and put your email address to your Pinterest account, your password, and click save. Once you click save, it is going to add it to a line section like this. And once that line section is put in, then you'll be able to go ahead and configure that account. This account has already been in here and it's been working today. It's finished this morning and it's probably going to start again here in a couple hours. But there are other accounts that I have in here too that I am not using right now, but for the purposes of this video, I'll explain what they are. But first I want to go through what these are up in the toolbar here. So when you click on File, that is to close this software out completely. So it's File and then Close, okay? Then what you have is you have tools. Now this tool, you'll see that if I don't have anything clicked up here, let's see if I can get out of one of these. Well, if I didn't have anything clicked up here, when you click on tools, you'll see that some of these are not highlighted, okay? But only the ones that you can actually get into are highlighted. So in this case, this one is already on start, so I'd have to stop it so I could get back into it. But if you click on an account that's not being used and you click on tools, then you'll be able to manage that account through the tools menu. So through the tools menu, if you click on boards manager, this actually manages all the different boards that are in that account, that specific account. In that particular account, I don't have any boards set up, but I could set up the boards right from here. I can add a board, I can edit a board, and I can delete a board if I want to. Okay, so that's what the boards manager does. Now, if there is a board, if you have boards in there, you can click on those boards and you can edit those boards. And what that does is this one really doesn't have anything in it, but I can change the name of the board, I can change the description, whatever I have in the description line of the board, and so on. The other neat thing is that if I go into the tools menu and I go into keyword generator, you can basically generate keywords based off of the boards that are in that account. So I'm not logged in these accounts, but if I was, it would bring up the boards and it would actually generate keywords based on the boards that I have, which is pretty awesome. So I could generate the keywords and use those keywords to find other things like pictures and images and things like that online. So that's a really awesome feature as well. The other thing we can do is you can import accounts. If you are working with CSV or anything like that, then you can import those accounts, especially if you have over like 20 or 30 accounts. You don't want to enter those manually. By God, that would be just terrible. You know, you would sit here forever doing that. But this gives you the import feature, which actually you can import it from a CSV file and import it directly into your account. Now, there is a specific way that it has to be set up in the CSV file, and that will be in one of my other videos. But once it's set up in that CSV file, you just save it, and then you can import it directly into your Pinbot software. The open logging is basically that you can check to make sure that you're either logged in or logged out, which is an awesome feature too, because sometimes you're not sure when you have hundreds of accounts here, and you've got those guys either you're logged in and you're posting, or you're not sure, so you can always check in your tools menu for that. The help menu actually takes you over to the website where you actually purchase the software, and also it takes you over to the tutorials. Now, like I said before, the tutorials, you know, they're helpful, but they're not, you know, they're not real in-depth. They don't really explain everything in depth. So that's one of the important things that I like about looking at any kind of software. I want to know exactly what it does, how it does it, and what every single thing means and how it's going to work for me. So that's one of my biggest things. Okay, so with that, we'll go down to the add. Add is self-explanatory. That's add your account. That's where we were just at. The other thing is edit. You can edit an account. If you want to edit that account, you go in there and you can edit an account that you've already added to it. So you can change your proxies, you can change your email, your password, and that type of thing. And then, of course, the start button. Once everything has been saved, you've configured your account the way you want it, and you're ready to run your campaigns. Then basically you want to hit your start button once that's done, and then configure. That's what we're going to go next, but let me show you the delete. Delete is if you have this account up here and you just don't want the account up there anymore, you hit delete and it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? And then yes, you're sure, and you can go ahead and trash that account. But now we're going to go ahead and look inside and see about how we're going to configure this account. and that'll be right in the next video. So stay tuned to part 2. Thank you.